Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tekk Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience.
As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where Sabrina AI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles appointment bookings, provides quick answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress of managing calls yourself, giving you more time to focus on your work, clients, and everything else life throws your way.
Scan the QR code for a free demo.
All right. Come on, man. Where I'm at. Show me, baby. Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me okay? Am I live? Am I live? I'm here with the bodyguard. So today is going to be an interesting show. We're going to make this a two-part series. We're going to debut a brand new campaign that we have, and then we're also going to take do a hot take show, a hot take version of the show. So yeah, then we'll follow up with another segment, another part 2 version of the show. So typically, I want to say greetings to you guys. I want to say hello, good morning, peace, Hobarigani, Hotep, greeting to everybody all the brothers who are watching and all the notaries all around the world. Bienvenidos, welcome in, konnichiwa, wherever you're tuning in from, all over the world, all over the planet. I know we reach people from all walks of life. So however you have your greeting, we want to welcome you to the show. If this is your first time rocking with us, I'll give you guys a little bit of a format of how the show goes. And tell you guys, typically we'll do some greetings. We'll say some shout outs to people who are watching us live. If you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're watching us while you're in the car doing your errands, getting groceries, you're at the gym. You might just be hanging out with your boo, your loved ones, your family members. Shout out to them as well. That's how we flow and glow. That's how we move and groove. We always start off with some user shout outs. We start off with some acknowledgments to the crew, people who rock with us on Sabrina. Texas, New York, Florida, Cali, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, West Coast, East Coast, everybody who rocked with us. So we want to give you guys a sincere appreciation, sincere shout out, because we do this for the advancement and the evolving of the entire notary industry, specifically the notary business. So again, if this is your first time rocking with us, then welcome. If you've been rocking with us before, again, we appreciate you. My name is Tekk Amaku. Tiger Toledo is backstage doing his Tyler Perry thing. He's rocking the show. And I got the bodyguard with me right now. He's taking a nap. He picks up just to make sure I'm on point. He looks up every now and then and he gives me a little smile. But overall, this is going to be an interesting show today, guys. I want you guys to tune in and stay locked in. Maybe pull out a pen and pad, take some notes. We expect to leave you with insights that you'll hear nowhere else. So we'll start off with the notary trivia. We'll do some quick studying. We'll do some knowledge on the actual industry itself. Make sure you guys are on point. And that's about it in terms of making sure that you guys are straightforward with the documents themselves. That's about the extent of what we do. We don't tell you how to run your business. We tell you how to get clients. And that's it. We tell you how to get people calling you and knocking on your door and ringing your phone. That's that's the primary benefit of the show. If you need to know where to put your signature, where to put the seal, go to Brother Dre for that. He's the best in the business. He's the only person I would recommend. There are a few others people, but he's the first person I would recommend to go get your confidence on how to be comfortable with the documents. Once you have that down, that's when you come to us. If nobody calls you, you have no business. If nobody books you, you have nowhere to sign. So that's when you come to us. Marketing, advertisement, automation, artificial intelligence. That's when you rock with us. Pricing, negotiation, sales. That's when you rock with us. So we'll start off with the notary trivia, get you right. Then we'll go into our main segment, which is our topic, which is today is why 90% of notaries lose business. Why 90% of notaries are losing money. That's our main topic. After that, after we deep dive, we go into the money corner. That's when I will speak directly to you and demonstrate real actionable steps that you can take in order to monetize your business. How many of you guys are insured? What would you do if you walked out of your house and slipped on your front steps? What would you do if you went through an intersection and got smacked? What would you do if you got sick and couldn't work? You couldn't run appointments? Look, family, every business owner will exit their business. That's a 100% fact. Every business owner will 100% exit their business. That's either through selling the business, you pass it down to a family member, children, or you die. And let me predict your future. I'm going to predict your future. All right. Stay with me on this, fam. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I can predict it. I'm 100% accurate on this, by the way. I've never not got this correct. I've always gotten it correct. I'm Notary Nostradamus up in this bitch. You will die at some point. That day will come. We don't know when. That transition will take place at some point. You as a business owner, what do you have in place to make sure that your business stays monetized? So during the Notary Money Corner, that's when I tell you, I share with you some insights that you may have never heard before. I've been fortunate enough to be around people who are really well off and some other people who are really well off. And I made it a point to study people who are really well off. I make it a point to study them. And I find out that the things that they do that are things that are not other people do. And I think that I can share some of those insights, because if you're not around those people, then you won't know. So we'll do that. And then we'll finish with our segment, Pass or Trash. That's when we take a notary website randomly. You can either submit if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching us on replay, you can leave a comment. And then we'll do that for the next time. But we'll do a notary website. We'll review it, we'll analyze it, and we'll determine if that website is actively, or if it's functional in its ability to book appointments. Again, y'all, that's our flow. That's our process. If this is your first time rock with us, thank you for joining us today. If not, if you've been with us for a while, then we appreciate you coming back. All right. So let's first leave your comments in the chat. Tiger, he's usually my sidekick. He's behind the scenes right now. Shout out to Tiger Toledo out there in Chicago. And he's going to be working the camera from the back end. So because it is hot takes, a hot takes version today, I'm going to start off with share some insight on what I feel is happening with the notary business and specifically with notaries. Now, I'm going to set up this scene. I'm going to set up this scenario, and then I'm going to play a video that's going to support that. By the way, this video just launched today on YouTube. If you follow me on my channel, the Notary Automation channel, you can go view the actual video. Don't do it now. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this on replay, then you can hit pause and go check it out. If you can't wait because the suspense is building too much, but I'm going to play the video later on, and I'm going to demonstrate why we built Sabrina AI. This show is sponsored and brought to you by Sabrina AI. And look, I'm going to make a listen, full disclosure, okay? I think it's important that when you watch videos, if people disclose whether or not they have some type of financial gain from the products that they're showing or that they are sponsoring. Whenever you watch a video and somebody is endorsing a product or some type of service and they're getting paid for it, then I think it's important that they disclose that information. I come from a world, just to give you a little bit of insight, a little peek into my real life. I come from a world that is the high-level medical professionals, top surgeons, and I'm not talking about the country. I'm not talking about the North America continent. I'm talking about the world. Give you a little bit of background, a little peek into my real life. That's where I got my training with, alongside the best orthopedic surgeons in the world. And again, I make it a point to study people who are really well off and notice some of the things that they do. So here's something that I learned from being around these really high level orthopedic surgeons. And it's something that you could take along and use in your life. So when you are getting information, when information is being disseminated to you and it needs to be filtered, then it's important that you know that person's biases, if they have any at all. All right, that person might have a financial gain to, win over by presenting certain information. Anything that we recommend on this show is something that we use, either myself or Tiger Toledo. If there's a product or a service that we mention, then you best believe that I've used it myself, I've tested it myself, and not just for one day. There's been at least 90 days, a 3-month period where I've tried it for myself at minimum, and it's probably more likely going to be more like a year before I even introduce it to the family. When you watch videos and people are just throwing out recommendations about softwares, about these services and these products that they haven't even used, and then they want you to use it, where's the integrity with that? Where's the honor? Where's the respect for your hard-earned money? So when you hear us mention that this show is sponsored by Sabrina AI, or this show is brought to you by, or endorsed by Sabrina AI, then just know that, yes, we do have a financial gain from that, but this is something that we personally use. Look, I'll be straightforward. When you see commercials on TV or you see videos online and people are mentioning products, they may not, or maybe they have, but there is some contractual obligation there for them to either mention that, yes, this stuff works for them, or that they recommended you use it. That person stands to gain financially, no doubt about it. So when I'm working alongside top surgeons in the world, and then they have been sponsored by pharmaceutical companies or brace or surgical equipment technology companies or new medications companies, then we we disclose that information, and it's only right that we do that. That way, you can make an informed decision as a viewer, and you don't take our recommendation as something that is purely one-sided. So I just want to make that clear that that's the world I come from, and when you take that approach, and when you're getting information, then you make just put that in the back of your mind. So this show is sponsored by Sabrina AI because I use Sabrina AI, and so does Tiger Toledo, and a lot of other people do as well. So here's the deal. So here's the deal. With the evolution and the advancement of technology, especially today, one of the biggest problems that notaries have is, um, you hear a lot of people who say, uh, you know, answer your phone, do this, do that, answer your phone. The secret is to answer your phone. Well, yes, that's true, but what do you say once the phone is answered? How do you carry the conversation? How do you direct and guide the call once the phone is answered? Well, it's a couple different ways. With the evolution of technology, we've done something that's pretty remarkable. We've helped notaries who are unable to answer the phone or want to be better at answering the phone to accomplish that. Now, I want to set the stage for a second. I want to show you guys a a period that is not uncommon. It happens quite often. As a matter of fact, it happened today. It happened when this video was made, and it also happened today. Again, you're not going to believe this. I mean, it only took 4 years, but it finally happened. It only took us 3.5 to 4 years, but listen, it finally happened. People are just now coming to terms with the need for automation, especially if you're a one-man show or a one-woman operation. If it's just you, which is the case with a lot of notaries, it's just you. Maybe you have a team of people, maybe you have a staff, but it's not common at all, is it? If it's just you doing everything, I mean, you're printing all the paper, you're executing all the appointments, you're responding to all the emails, you're processing all the payments, you're following up with all the clients. When do you have time for anything? When do you have time to actually market? When do you have time to learn Google Ads? When do you have time to follow up on phone calls? This is the trap that you never saw coming. When you first started out in this business, you didn't plan on doing all of that work and giving yourself essentially another job. Let's face it, most of the people who are notaries are professionals. You're smart, you're highly intelligent, you may have multiple degrees. You may have been in an industry for years and you finally come to the determination that you don't want to be in this job stuck. You don't want to be a wage warrior, or you've definitely started looking for your exit, or looking for a way out because either you tried climbing the corporate ladder and it didn't work out. Maybe you were recently fired and laid off or terminated. You probably got into some BS with some coworkers or with your boss. There's all types of situations that bring us to the notary industry. A lot of different aspects. And you find yourself wanting to run a business because you understand that in order to get freedom, it's the only way to be a business owner. There's no other way, not in this country, not in this society, to have freedom unless you're a business owner. High wage earner, high taxes. Again, I made it a point to study people who are really well off and people who are really well off. I mean, some incredible, impressive, phenomenal numbers monthly. All right, not annually, monthly. And the only way to get freedom in this country, in this system, in this society, is to be a business owner. There's no other way. Don't ever get that twisted. There's no other way to do it. You can make $900,000 a year in a job, but you will pay because of the tax structure in this country. You will pay taxes that are about the equivalent of that. So you may make that much money, but that's not going home with you. High wages, high taxes, but business income is measured differently. So, we'll talk about that. I'm getting off on a tangent already. See, I'm already getting off. I'm already on one. I'm already getting sidetracked. I'm already getting fired up right now. Let me get back to the point of our topic here, which is why are 90% of notaries losing money? Why? All right. Let me start by saying this, guys. Notaries are talking too much. Y'all got to stop it. You guys got to stop it. You guys got to quit with this. If you want to chime in on this topic, definitely leave a comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this on Instagram, or if you're doing this on replay, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. But here's the deal. The quickest way that notaries talk themselves out of business is because they talk too much. You guys got to stop with this. You guys got to quit. Here's my recommendation. Here's my suggestion, okay? And I'm going to share a little story with you guys in a moment. I need to get closer to the camera when I say this. The less you say, the better. The less you say, the better. If you say nothing at all, then that is a grade A, top shelf, diamond encrusted appointment. Yes, it is. Notaries are talking too much. You're getting yourselves in trouble. Number one, by losing the appointments themselves before you even get the appointment, you're talking too much. And by the time, if you get the appointment and you show up to the appointment and then you start talking, you're going to get yourself in some serious trouble. Let me explain. And before I explain, I'm going to do an expose. Me and an attorney are going to do an expose on this very subject. And this is going to be big. It's this, in my opinion, we're designing this to completely overhaul, revolutionize, and completely increase the standards of the notary industry. Myself and an intellectual property attorney, we're going to completely, for those who are receptive to the information, you're definitely going to get a lot out of this. That is coming up in probably this fall or this late summer, but definitely by this fall, we're definitely going to, I can't wait to do this. We've already started working on this. We're putting so much preparation into this, but this is going to be a masterpiece. It's going to be one of my finest works, one of our finest masterpieces, our works that we want to give to the notary industry for people on this very subject. Stop talking. What is a notary? Let me ask you that. What is the purpose of a notary? The notary is to do what? One thing. Notary does one thing. I know you hear different definitions and people have their opinions on what a notary does. But what is it that a notary actually does? The notary does one thing, which is to verify identification. If you can't sum it up in one sentence and you get confused and you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, it's too complicated. What is a notary? A notary is to verify identification. Is that right? You guys believe that? Yes, it is. So when you start explaining things, when you start discussing things, right, that's not a notary. And here's where that can get you in trouble, especially if you, let's just say you don't even get the client yet. You're not even there. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Before you even get the client, somebody calls you and then you're explaining to this person how they could book you as a notary. Even if you even answer the call, which is something that we're gonna talk about in a second as well. All right. I haven't forgotten, but I have a problem with getting sidetracked and getting distracted. But I'm gonna try my best to stay on point here. There's something that the FBI and that law enforcement do. It's called interrogation. Your spouse may do this, your boss, your friends, your kids. How does it feel when people question you? I'm asking you. Think about the last time you got interrogated by someone when they grilled you. How did you feel? They asked you questions that you may or may not have had the answer to. You may not have known the exact details, but someone kept asking you, well, what is it? And you didn't know. Did you feel like you were cornered? Did you feel like did they make you feel as if you were incompetent? Did they question your intelligence? Did it feel like your intelligence was being questioned? That's how you make your customers feel. Did you know that? When you grill your customers and you ask them questions that they may or may not have the answer to, you risk you risk losing the client, and oftentimes you do because this person feels like they're being interrogated. So talking too much is the first way is how you can lose a client. Sabrina, people who use Sabrina, notice who use Sabrina, they can avoid that altogether. Now let's talk about something else when you actually get to the appointment. I recently sent a notary to an appointment at a nursing home. There was a mother, a daughter, and then the sister was on the phone. Here's where the notary made the mistake. Full disclosure, I tell my notaries, I tell them exactly that. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. The less you say, the better. Here's the reason why. It's a lie. It's not an. I know these. I know you and a lot of the notaries I work with. They're the best. I know you're intelligent. I know you went to college. I know you have multiple degrees. I know you have much experience. But this is a liability issue. The last thing I want my client to say, because here's what happened. The, the the notary ended up not signing the document. So I asked him, well, what happened? When somebody schedules a notary appointment, don't you agree? They've already reached the finish line or they're approaching it. They've got their documents in order. They've got all the ducks in a row. All they need is your signature. So what happened? Well, got to the notary appointment and then families changed their mind. Why didn't they want to sign it? Here's the question he asked. And let me know in the comments if you ask this question, if you make this mistake, and has this happened to you? The mom is in a nursing home, the sister's by her bedside, and the other sister's on the phone, or the daughter's by the bedside, and also the social workers there, so some more people there. He looked at the client and he pointed to the document and he asked her, "Are you in your right mind to sign this document?" Do you know what you're signing? In a nursing home, patient, the mother, the signer, whether she was joking or whether she wasn't, she said no. And what happened? The daughter immediately jumped in. The social worker immediately jumped in and said, well, we have explained this to you. And then the mother further explains, no, I don't know what this is. I don't want to sign it. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, this person isn't displaying the cognitive ability of someone who should be signing legal documents. But let me explain something to you. The topic of our discussion right now is the notary saying too much. And what is the purpose of a notary? One purpose. What is it? Did you say verifying identity? If you did, then you'd be correct. Not to determine whether or not somebody has the cognitive ability, because a notary is not a doctor, are they? A notary didn't go to law school. Maybe they did. But that, in that capacity, in that moment, they're not wearing the doctor's hat. They're wearing the notary hat. You can't play, if you're a notary, you can't play multiple roles. You can't be the doctor. You can't be the notary. You can't be the social worker. You can't be the therapist. You can't be the friend. You can't, the administrator. You can't be the judge. You, as the notary, you wear one hat in that moment. You are signing as a notary. Let's say you did go to law school or you went to medical school. There's something called a conflict of interest. You ever heard of that expression? You ever heard of that term, baby? As the bodyguard's waking up. A conflict of interest. You don't sign your document and you notarize your signature, do you? Why? It's a conflict of interest. So by you asking that question, it created, or you acting as somebody who's determining somebody's cognitive ability, you're creating a conflict of interest. Here's what you do instead. Ask this question: have you examined this document? And if the answer is yes, then that's good. We can proceed. If the answer is no, then say, here's your chance to do it. And then we'll proceed to sign afterwards. Much better way to do it, as somebody who's a medical professional, and I've examined hundreds of thousands of people at this point, but I've nursed people back to health, and you're determining somebody's health status. How you say something will determine how you command an exam room. So I made that suggestion to this notary. In the future, don't ask that question. In the future, leave that question out. Instead, replace it with this. Listen, you may be losing clients and you don't even know it. And it could be because just how words come out of your mouth. How you say something can completely change the tone and dynamics of a situation. This is something that we practice on. This is something that you should practice on. It helps with your communication, not just in your life, but in your professional world as well. The question is, why are 90% of notaries losing money? Baby, do you understand that? Why are 90% of notaries losing money? That's one of the main reasons why, right there. Just in how they talk, how they communicate. Stop talking so much. That's going to get you in trouble. And here's another thing, especially if you're working with somebody who is an agency owner, or if you yourself as an agency owner, you don't know, as a contract notary who's going out to execute these appointments, you don't know what was discussed behind the scenes prior to that appointment being coordinated, do you? You don't know. So the last thing, another reason why I tell my notaries, stop talking. Don't say a word. The less you say, the better. The less you, because here's the thing, when that document wasn't signed, I need to talk to the notary and I need to explain to them, hey, when I talk to the client, I don't want them to come back and say, that notary, they're very nice, very pleasant, very cute, very courteous, but they said ABC. She said XYZ. He said LMNOP. That doesn't sound right. So now I have a he said, she said situation, and it becomes a problem because I wasn't there. So this is another reason why you should keep your talking to a very, I mean, the less you say, the better. The less you say, the better. The less you talk, the better the appointment. And I hold that very dearly. And I think you should approach it the same way. Keep the job very simple, very straightforward. It's better for everybody. You'll get more clients. That's correct. They don't understand, but they will. I think they understand now. I think I'll make the point. All right. So for our main segment, this is just a hot take. This is just my feelings based upon the conversations I've had with notaries and the interactions within the last, recent months. This will do a great deal of benefit for people who are recently notaries or people who are just can't figure out why am I struggling to interact and having these poor engagements with these clients. You're talking too much. Okay, it's just that simple. You talk too much. All right. So I think it's time for a quick reveal of what our newest video, our newest ad campaign is going to look like. I'm going to roll this out. I'm going to play this. It's actually live on YouTube right now. I'm going to pull up the YouTube video and I'm going to play it. Hopefully the sound works. I know the sound's going to work fine. But let me know what your comments are. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments here. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this on replay, then definitely leave a comment down below. All right, we check them all, we read them all. All right, so here's the deal. I'm gonna play this video. It just posted, brand new, just got posted an hour ago. And we are rolling out Oops, did I lose it? Nope, I did not lose it. Good. So I'm gonna set the screen. So yesterday or a few days ago, I was trying to outsource a notary appointment, right? I stopped running appointments. I'm the last person. This is another thing that we teach at Sabrina AI. I'm the last person in line to run the appointment. I mean, I'm talking, I'll go through 17 notaries. No kidding. Just like I'm gonna demonstrate the video. I'll go through 17 notaries before I myself have to run the appointment. It was actually 15, you ready for this? 15 notaries that I had to call. 15. On the 15th notary, I actually got somebody. Now, in the video, you only see 8. That's because the first 7, as I'm calling, the first 7, I didn't get no response. But I'm thinking to myself, what's happening? Is this real? I seriously can't find a notary? And I want you to think about this for a second. You are a notary. You know what to look for. You want somebody who's high class and who's going to represent your company. You're not looking for the cheapest basement, dirt cheap notary. You're looking for the best. So if you, who knows what a notary looks like, if you can't find a notary, what do you think the client is experiencing? Who may not don't know the intricate in details and what to look for when it comes to searching for a notary. They don't know about profiles. They don't know about certifications. They don't know about licenses. They don't know any of that. All they know is that they need a notary. And they're having trouble. You actually know these things and you can't find a notary. What do you think they're experiencing? What do you think is happening on their end? I'll show you. I called 7 different notaries, and it got 0, a big old fat goose egg. Shame on you, notaries. That's shameful. I don't live in a small rural town, by the way. I don't live out in the middle of nowhere. I live in an area where there are over 800 notaries, and I can't find any of them. So after the first 7, I said, there's something happening here. And just because we live in a society today where if it's not documented, it didn't happen, I need to document this. I'm going to show this because this is a real problem. This is the reason why we created Sabrina. So I'm going to show this video of me actually looking for real notaries. All right. Check this out.
Please leave your message for 925.
And as you can see, she's not available because this is how notaries miss out on appointments, simply because they don't answer their phone. Very simple, very easy. So this notary here completely lost out on an appointment. Money just falling in her lap. Opportunity just falling right in her lap. It's completely missing because they don't have a automated answering service. Just that simple. So I'm going to attempt to call her once again, give her a second opportunity to get this right. So let's open up our phone app. Let's copy paste her phone number. Give her one more call.
Please leave your message for 925.
Hi, you've reached Claire Anderson. Please leave me a message and I'll return your phone call as soon as I can.
Por favor, deje su mensaje para
William Maldonado.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please. Call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up. Call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up. Hello, we're unable to take your call at the moment. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you.
It's a true story. This is real life.
You've reached out with Notary on the spot. I'm unavailable at the moment, but if you leave a message, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
It's a great day at Oakland Prime Mobile Notary. To speak with a live agent at any time, simply say live agent, or you can schedule an appointment from your device. I only need a few details. May I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, sure.
Great. First, can you tell me what city you live in?
I live in Oakland, but I'm actually, the appointment's going to be in Oakland.
Thank you for confirming that you live in Oakland. How many signatures will be required for the document you need notarized?
There are 4 signatures, myself, my wife, my business partner, and then my brother.
I appreciate the information. Just to confirm, you mentioned there are 4 signatures needed. Can you please confirm the type of identification you and the others will be using for the signing? We accept government-issued IDs like a driver's license, U.S. passport, or state identification card that is not expired.
Yeah, we all have a driver's license.
Thank you for confirming that everyone will be using a driver's license. Now, do you have a preferred day for your appointment? I can check to see if any times are available today.
Yeah, we're looking for today at 3 o'clock.
I can check check for availability for today at 3 o'clock. Just to confirm, I have your phone number as 151063839. Is that the phone number I should use?
Yes.
I have you scheduled for today at 3 o'clock. You will receive a text message with the schedule link shortly. Is it okay to text this number?
Yes, that's okay. Thank you.
I have you scheduled for today at 3 o'clock. You will receive a text message with the schedule link shortly. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for calling Oakland Prime Mobile Notary. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.
All right, guys. So here's the deal. What you just saw was Sabrina AI in action. If those notaries had Sabrina, they probably have appointments on their books and they would have cash in their pocket. So as you guys know, this is just an abbreviated version of the Notary Insight Show. We'll be back for the second part. As I go ahead and tend to my bodyguard, it's time to go, huh? Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for rocking with us. If you want to schedule a demo, click the link down in the description or scan the QR code. Thanks you guys for joining in for Notary Insights Hot Intake. See you guys next time.
As a business owner, you're juggling a lot, and managing phone calls can quickly become overwhelming.
That's where Sabrina, the AI voice automation that turns calls into clients, comes in. Imagine having a reliable 24/7 assistant that never misses a call, handles routine questions, schedules appointments, and directs important calls to the right people, all without needing a human touch.
This frees up your team's time to focus on what really matters, saves you money, and ensures every customer gets a consistent, professional experience. It's like having an extra set of hands, so you can focus on growing your business, not just managing calls.
Scan the QR code to book your free demo today.